Cola brothers and sisters, welcome to AquaBrain TV. On this show, we're going to chat all-terrain surf with Greg Ryan. Coming to us from beautiful British Columbia. You can find Greg on bindingless.ca. That's bindingless.ca. Greg, thanks for joining us. How have you been?
Good. Getting ready for winter again. Hopefully it's going to be a big one this year.
Yeah, no kidding. I know hopefully it's better than last year. I mean, last year was okay, but
every year is good. When you get to ride the resort, it's always good.
Yeah. So where's your home mountain? What's your home resort?
My home resort is Revelstoke Mountain Resort right now.
Okay. And that's
so
BC.
It's pretty. Yeah, it's a big vertical drop, great powder. Lineups are small sometimes. Now it's getting busier, but I can't say we've ever had a bad year. I've been there since 2007, since it opened, and had it pass every year. And yeah, I'll definitely keep going back. It's a great. The leash and a metal edge is usually what their regulation is. And some resorts will make you wear a strap if they don't have it. But usually if you just go talk to the people and show them what you're doing and that you're safe about it, pretty much any resort's going to let you on after you kind of talk to their safety staff, maybe do a run with them or something. And yeah, boom. They're usually super stoked to see it go and are surprised. So yeah, they want more business, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know the lift ups at my home resort, they see me a lot. So that once they start seeing you a lot, they're like, oh, okay, well, this guy obviously knows what he can get down the mountain, you know?
Oh yeah, when your lap times start coming down and they're like, holy, this guy's like lapping other snowboarders and skiers, they're like, no problem, you can do whatever you want, right?
Yeah, exactly. So so progressive board design is the company. Can you tell me a little bit about the history and where you got the idea and everything?
The company, it started in, basically I started designing weird stuff in about 2007. And then once I progressively got to about 2010, getting the design moving forward, something a lot more functional and what I wanted from, taking a few products and making something to making my own stuff. That's when I started the company Progressive Board Designs and went for a patent on the unique design of the product for the specific like powder, groomer, performance all in one. And then basically just went from there, bringing the products in that I needed to be able to manufacture everything in-house. We don't, everything's made specifically for this board. We make the top decks, the trucks, and all the sub decks, do all the carbon fiber layering, build all of our own cores. So nothing is, bought from somewhere else and then brought in and kind of just slapped together. We definitely design everything to be functional with this one board, which to me is super important to be able to have, the sub deck that's working well with the top deck and the trucks that are giving the right type of feel with that product. So yeah, we just kind of try to do everything in house. It's based out of Malacqua, British Columbia, which is a super small town here. And just go from there. It's a board that's kind of, made in your garage, and take it out get it as many people on it as possible.
Well, carbon fiber, that's new. I don't think any other company is using carbon fiber.
No, the carbon fiber top deck is something that really, seeing as how the size of the product is so large, a lot of people are, a lot of guys are turned off right away and they say, oh, it must be super heavy because they see the size of it. Well, when you take that size of board and you turn it into carbon fiber, really the thickness of it, it's just over 1.5 millimeters in thickness, the top deck.
Okay.
Which to a lot of people, it's kind of something you don't really understand until you stand on it. But through the layering and the types of carbon fiber that we use, you can get a really, really stiff, rigid product and have it extremely thin and really, really light. Obviously, the cost is a little bit more, but then it allows you to have a product that's going to actually flex the way you want. It's going to provide like a gliding surface when you're in the powder as well to help with flotation. So really the carbon fiber lets us have a bigger board that usually weighs the same or less than any of your powder skates is what we've compared it to. So any of the ones that I've weighed, usually the carbon top deck will save 50% of the overall weight of the board. So it's a lot.
What's the length
It's
on this?
150 centimeters, the top deck. So that's with the tip curvature and everything. Tip to tip, if you measure it, it's 150 centimeters. And then the width is, I mean, in millimeters, I couldn't tell you right now, but it comes out to about 11.75 inches. So it is
Okay.
wider than your average snowboard, but you know, through the concave, it's quite an aggressive concave. You have 4 inches of flat in the middle, then 4 inches of concave on each side. So we start with 12, and then through the curvature, it brings it out. So if you have anywhere from a size 5 foot up to probably a size 14, you're getting a really good performing board, because you have a lot of smaller feet have a lot of the toe and heel on the concave, and people with bigger feet don't have much overhang, which is really important with Bideck products, I find, because once you get it over into a hard carve, if your toe or heel drags, you're going to lose your board pretty quick.
Dude, I can definitely, yeah, I can tell you, it happens every once in a while. I'll hit my toe on an aggressive turn, and it's like, oh geez, okay.
That's never fun.
That
So
got
like
me.
I said, I'm average. My foot size, my snowboard boot size is a 9. So for me, I have no toe and heel hang, and I wanted a little bit more aggressive for me. And I also had friends who wanted to ride it and were like, man, I'm a size 12. I can't ride my skateboard deck anymore, which is only like 9 inches wide, you know? So kind of, even for me, that's pretty small with a snowboard boot on top of that.
So is the only product you guys have the all-terrain surf, or do you guys have other products?
That is right now. We're only making the one size. So basically I've had like men, women, big men, like small women, young girls down to 11 years old riding it and have done really well on it. We just basically at this point manipulate the amount of layers in the carbon fiber, so it's going to be a little bit lighter and softer and more forgiving for those, you know, younger kids and women. And when we get into like bigger guys, I've had some guys who are like 300 pounds, you know, 6'5", that want to ride it. We would add a layer or two of carbon depending on what they want, so they're getting the same type of performance that I would be getting out of it, as well as adjusting a sub deck core if necessary for that type of person. But right now it's just basically sticking to the one size fits all, and the large deck allows you to have whatever stance options you want, right?
Gotcha. So do you take custom orders then?
That's basically the only way that we'd be doing it right now. Like I usually have about 5 or 6 of them made up and ready to go for demos and stuff like that. And then if someone's interested in saying, hey, you know, like we want a board, give me a little bit of time to make sure I'm gonna be able to get what you want. So there's some customization available. Like if you want a different type of carbon fiber, that can always be ordered, or if you want to put a specific graphic into the mold, we can do that. So, you know, some guys I know right now want to order a board where they have like a group of buddies who has like their own little logo, and they really want that on the board. So we'll get that in there for them. So I guess wherever we were.
Yeah. So I was just, so you mentioned different kinds of carbon fiber. What kind of carbon fiber do you offer?
Well, you can, if you want, like say you wanted a different color on the base, there's certain different types of weaves that you can order. Someone wanted to order their own, like you could get your name weaved into it if you wanted to. It's just super expensive to get those custom weaves. Like you can get, like I have like the race car classic kind of style, like this one, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I like that.
Which is pretty classic. And then some other ones, I believe that like this one will be the clown one. Actually, these ones are all the same hexagonal weave, you know, and some of them are, you can get like squares or diamonds and all that kind of stuff in there. I sold all those ones, I'm pretty sure right now. And yeah, some of the riders who are out there now have a few of the carbon. So you'll have the carbon on top, and then more of a powder performance and added flotation, right? So you add the PTEX that's a little bit heavier, you get more flotation. So yeah, it just depends really on your application, what you're looking to get out of it.
So do you have team riders? Do you have a team?
I got a guy. No, I don't have a specific team. There's a guy who rides in Revelstoke here, Zach Vansicle, all the time. He's he's always out there on the hill. Lots of people are coming out doing demos. I mean, Ben's out in Sunshine there. There's quite a few guys from Alberta, that ride here and there. I usually pass boards around and let people try whatever they want. But for the most part, yeah, it's not, the company isn't at that point now where I'm going to be like, okay, we got, 10 team riders and stuff like that. It's more of a, it's still being introduced to people because it is such a crossover product, and you got the snow skate community, the POW skate kind of guys, you got the POW surfs, and this is really a crossover that started from snowboarding. And I originally wanted to be able to ride the powder on the ski hill with no bindings, so I had to design a snowboard style product that would allow me to have the binding technology to carve on the groomers as well as perform well in the powder. And it's kind of, yeah, it's just getting going, right? Things take a lot of time, and like I said, it's got to work a full-time job and build boards on the side and do that stuff. So at this point, it's a passion that's building with time as it gets more recognized, as more people see them, right? So keep on.
So I have a question, because you have a very unique sub ski or skid design. Can you explain that a little bit to me? And if people don't know what I'm talking about, you want to show them what I'm talking about?
Well, basically, you can see that pretty good there.
Yeah, so that goes
basically
the way the bottom
ski rises above the top deck. It goes all the way to the top, and you can see that it comes above, right? So I have a dampener in between there. In order to keep, in certain situations, when you're in the powder and it sinks, the top deck is going to flex when you hit hard bumps and stuff. Like this one I've been riding a while, so I'll have lots of give. That's part of the flex of the carbon. So it's going to act like a snowboard when you, let's say, the sub deck goes underneath, and as this draws up in the powder, the sub deck is going to follow, right? So this one comes up and this one's going to flex up with it. So it keeps snow from going between the two. This is specifically designed so that we can get our Bideck product to perform better in powder. So it allows me to have a really, really aggressive side cut on the sub deck so that I can carve groomers really, really well and get around the resort, which is, I would say, majority of your riding on a resort is going to be groomers or some chopped up snow or something. And then when you do hit the powder, this ski obviously is going to sink into the snow, so you get flotation off of your top deck. That's why it's so wide, and that's why we have PTEX on some of the other ones as well. The carbon actually glides quite well, and then this keeps the snow from going between the two. So instead of needing like a really big powder subblade, which may not perform as well on the groomers, you get a really good groomer performance board that then protects the tip from going under and adds your flotation on the top deck. So, and the length of it as well gives you that flotation. So it's virtually like having a really aggressive, carving sub as well as having a powder sub all in one board. And that's what allows, if this tip was down low and the nose went under, then snow gets in and drags the whole product down. So that's basically why that's there. And it works really well. I mean, I've submerged this thing quite a few times sledding, and it works just as good as the snowboard once you find your stance and where it's like basically when you get in a boat and you drive around, you don't just put all the weight in the front of the boat, right? You got to make sure that things are evenly balanced to stay on plane. And once you ride the board for a day or two or three, you start to realize where your body weight works best, and each person's going to be different, right? So that's why we give you so many stance options, because I'm about 175 pounds, and a guy who's 200, and then a woman who's 110, they're going to need to be in different spots for the same performance, which is, it's been working really well. Like I said, I watched an 11-year-old girl ride this, and I couldn't believe how fast she was going. I was just like, wow, it's so easy, because she was on a super light model, and she was able to have whatever stance we wanted with a thin sub deck. And for me, the key is carving on the groomers is super fun. You know what I mean? Being able to lay some really aggressive carves and then just kind of skip off the cat track into the trees and go for a power run just by moving your feet a little bit was something that I really, really wanted to have in a product, like a really versatile mountain board. And I go backcountry with it all the time too, my friends, and a lot of them ride POW surfs and a lot of them snowboard and have no trouble keeping up with them. You have a very limited amount of snow skaters in the Revelstoke area, which, I mean, it's a shame because it's a great resort for snow skating. They'll let anybody on there with like snow bikes, snow skates. You can go up there with your POW surfs if you want, and they're totally into it. So you get to see more snow skaters make it out this way, and kind of start moving into the big mountains and the backcountry a little bit for sure.
So from up from the States, what's the trajectory of your resort? I'm not familiar with that area.
We're British Columbia, so we're West Coast.
Yeah. So is that up like
we're
Okanagan, or is that
above you.
up Seattle?
Yeah, we're right. So you're Boise, you're Idaho, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like central United States, kind of a little bit more.
We're still in the Northwest, so we're like,
yeah, you're still Northwest. So basically,
Western
I'd say
Idaho.
if you looked up at Canada from where you are, I guess,
yeah,
we'd be up and off to the left a little bit more out to the West Coast, central British Columbia interior, right around there. Like central, southern a little bit. So we're not on the ocean, but we're the interior mountain range. Like you're in Alberta and you come over and you hit the Rockies, and then you travel the Rockies and you get into the Selkirks and the Monashees, and then the Selkirks, I believe, and we're right in there. So yeah, a little bit up and left from where
is that mining country? Are you above mining country there?
Mining?
Or is that a little more west? Is that a little more west?
No, there was mines. If you drive around in the mountains here, you'll find old abandoned mines and stuff. Big logging up here for sure. That's definitely something that's pretty big in BC. So, I mean, hydroelectric power is another big thing around here. And British Columbia, in Canada, British Columbia, it's the resort destination place. It's where people come on vacation. It's where lots of beautiful lakes. You can get out to Tofino on the ocean. Lots of mountains within this area. You got Kicking Horse and Golden, and then you have Revelstoke, and then down in Kamloops you got Sun Peaks, and then you got Silver Star, and you got Big White down towards Kelowna. So, and then you have like Red Mountain down around Trail. So there's lots of resorts in this area all over the place. So if you do end up in here, you got lots of options.
Yeah. So I have been to Kamloops,
yep.
And actually stayed at the lake in a cabin that burned down at some point.
Yep.
And caught a bunch of Kamloops trout. So that was, I think it's, what is it? They got their own rainbow or something.
Yeah. There's so many different types around here. It's fishing in BC is great. You're always gonna get, and if you catch it yourself, it's healthy, right? Nowadays, got to get your own food.
Yeah. That's just, so now I kind of know the area you're talking about, because I've been up there. It was a while ago.
We're 2 hours east of Kamloops.
Okay. 2 hours east.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you are like pretty much, but you're Pacific Coast time. So you're like, we're so close to the border. We're like barely mountain time. I don't know how it works, but somehow the farmers here,
same people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I noticed the trucks. So I'm used to a rocker truck style. Can you explain the trucks a little bit?
Yep. Yep, absolutely. So we go with a rigid truck and make the trucks that are super, super light. Like each one of those trucks weighs 95 grams, which is about a quarter of most of the other trucks. Because when you take the other trucks, they have like a lot of hardware holding them together for the pivots and stuff. And the bolts, they don't seem like they're quite heavy, but when you put it all together, it adds up, over the course of, the pivot bolt, this bolt, the mounting bolts and all that stuff. So we went with a 2 millimeter thick CNC aluminum, T6 aluminum, super light, really strong. And just 4 pieces of small hardware that mount into an insert on the top and bottom. So there's no through hardware with no extra bolts or anything like that. So it mounts the same on the bottom as it does on the top. And we had to try to shave weight for this board, right? Keep everything as light as possible because it is so big. The round design was something. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you were talking about the round design. I was just gonna ask how it goes over, how it handles the changes in terrain.
Yeah, and so basically, one of the main reasons was snow shedding. So every other product I had, the trucks had lots of square edges. So as I go into the powder on my other snow skates, I found that a lot of snow would build up and it hits the square truck and it builds up. So the round design is so that, you know, as you're carving hard on a steep slope, snow is coming through at all angles, at 45s and straight on. And I wanted the truck to be able to shed snow in all directions. So it's usually quite clean in there, even after you get to the powder. And as well, what it does is my top deck has a lot of torsional flex in there, like a snowboard. You'll know when you're on a snowboard, you can really twist and feel that motion to be able to initiate your turns quite easily.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted out of this, coming from a snowboard perspective. So the round trucks allows me to basically, wherever my foot is, because there's torsional flex in the deck up here, it's not a TikTok type motion. It really allows you to roll out, and the deck will give you flex all the way through around that round portion of the truck. So that small round section underneath allows you to have flex. So it feels more like you're really rolling into your turns.
Wow.
It's not just like a side to side TikTok type motion, you know. And it's, if I were to stand on it and show you, it would, you'd see people are surprised at how much it actually flexes. And then when that torsional flex from here transfers down into the sub deck, which allows pressure to be placed on that because it's the same shape down there, it really gives a super fast, agile response to the sub deck and makes you feel like you're actually snowboarding more than you are snow skating or skateboarding, you know what I mean? So, and in different situations, your stance choice will give you that snowboard feel or surf feel or skate feel, depending on what you really want to get out of it. So that's the main thing of the trucks, and that's why we designed it in that shape for this board, because it flexes so much that I wanted it to be able, wanted you to be able to use all of that feeling, basically.
Wow, awesome.
And they're
cool.
They're pretty strong for sure. And obviously, if riders are bigger and heavier, we would make we have some that are 3 millimeters, not 2 millimeters. So it adds a tiny bit of weight, but it gives you that much more strength for the guys who are, you know, hitting chop at high speed. And, you know, eventually, like every truck that I've used with any of my snow skates, eventually I have broken them in some way, somehow, you know what I mean? Whether it's, I mean, sometimes they're just thin little bent aluminum, right? So it's kind of.
Yeah. I actually, I've had a couple experiences. One was quite a long walk down from the top. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. And the nice thing, you know, is this one, whenever I've had an issue on a Revelstoke Mountain Resort, you have a lot of really nice groomers. So normally, because the product is big, like you can lay down on it like a skeleton and kind of hold the board in place to get down if you need to, if something breaks. Or usually you can move far enough forwards that you're standing over just the one truck that isn't having a problem, and you can manipulate your way down usually fairly well. I mean, I've only had one issue with hardware coming loose, like all my snow skates, until we got the proper vibration dampening that we wanted, right? And that's another really important thing, is the vibration dampening. We have 4 mil foam on the top where the grip is. Then there's 2 dampeners in the trucks, and there's also like a VDS foil on your edges in order to provide like 3 or 4 full layers of vibration dampening through the board. So it really holds the chatter down. Carbon fiber is such a rigid product, and it really resonates stuff. So you want to make sure you have good, nice soft foam under there. And yeah, the extreme grip the Tundra grip from Gripwall there has been hands down the best grip that we've ever used, for sure.
I've got an order
going to be coming on all of our boards from now. Yeah.
Oh, so that comes.
It's hard to get your hands on it right now, but it's definitely worth the little bit of extra money in order to get something that never breaks. So yeah, I know it's out there.
Mm-hmm. So do you, on your site, can you purchase this? And that's Polar. What is it? It's bindingless.ca.
Bindingless.ca. So you can go there and check everything out. And we don't have setup for like there's videos and stuff on there. There's no setup for like a straight up order. My number's there and my email's there, and that would be best bet. Contact me directly and talk to me about, you know, what you want and what's going on. Kind of, because at this point now, I'd like to know like how big the person is, what kind of feet size you have, you know, what kind of riding you're going to be doing to make sure you're getting the right type of flex and stuff like that. So, and the best thing too is to say, hey, if you do end up coming up to BC and want to ride one, like, just shoot a message and we'll get a board under your feet right away to go try it out and see. Everybody who's been on it so far has thought it was substantially easier than that initial response. They're like, wow, it's big, it's got to be hard to ride. And then once they ride it, they're like, wow, it's a lot actually easier and forgiving, because you can make mistakes, right? And your feet can chatter around and you can still be in a good spot to ride. So that's kind of, and I wanted to feel like I was snowboarding. That's my thing.
Yeah. So you got, you guys do demos and stuff up there at the mountain?
Usually in and around BC is the best right now. I mean, I haven't been traveling too much right now in order to.
Sure. Yeah. I know.
Like I said, I got to work and do stuff. So usually that's why I have somebody like Ben Nadeau out in Sunshine Village. He's there all the time. He's usually got 2 or 3 boards. Anybody coming up that way can usually hook up with him. He's on the mountain almost every day. And he's a great guy to go with. It's really nice to go with somebody when you're trying something new, so you can kind of like watch and see what's going on. You know what I mean?
And ask questions.
Get an idea of really, where to stand and see what other people. And everybody rides it different. Like you'll get some guys who ride it duck-footed just like their snowboard, and then you get guys who jump on there like a surfboard or longboard, or guys with super small skateboard stances, and it really allows you to do pretty much whatever you want. So I found the snow case where I was a little bit short for me, because I would like a little bit more snowboard stance. You know what I mean? It's all about speed for me now.
It's awesome, Greg Ryan. Hey, so I got a couple bonus questions. You wanna? Should we do some bonus?
For sure.
All right, cool. Let's see. First of all, what is a skill that you would like to learn but haven't yet? Skydiving.
Yeah. If that's considered a skill.
Well, I mean, I'm just I'm not judging. That's skill.
I think it's a skill. When I
a lot of
see people
skill.
do it, it looks it looks like it takes a lot of skill to be able to fall in control.
Yeah, you got to get over the fear right away. Like, how are you gonna? You gotta get over all that fear just to get started.
Yeah, I mean, I've jumped out of a plane twice, but I've never been able to free fall on my own. So that would be the key skill I'd be looking for, to be able to fall under control. I think would be pretty awesome.
Awesome. All right. Okay, let's see. Second one. All right. If you were living in a tribe community, what would you offer?
I would say the ability to provide shelter and a good fire, definitely.
Nice.
Done lots of that. I live on a farm right now, so we grow all of our own garden, and my wife does all the canning, and we do all our own maintenance and structure building, and try to keep everything. No, don't come in. Right here. Sorry, that's somebody stopping by the house. Should I start over with that?
No, it's cool.
Like, oh my God, they're gonna come in and open the door.
No, that's awesome, man.
That's what I'd say. I'd say the ability to provide shelter and food and fire. Stay alive.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you've got some experience in some of that stuff.
I've always been out in the country.
It's awesome. What key components would you expect other members of the tribe to contribute? Maybe like a top 3.
Top 3 things I would say, usually in a tribe would be, I don't know, like hunting gathering is super important. Being able to work as a team is extremely important. And I guess their ability to attract some women to keep the tribe alive, I guess. If we're starting out with all men, or we could be starting out mixed, and then maybe their ability to raise a good family and stuff like that. Cool. I guess those are the things you need in the tribe, right? You need shelter, you need food, you need some kids to keep the tribe going.
Yeah, so, cooperation.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, last one here. If the system that we're all dependent on collapses tomorrow, what would be the first thing that you do?
Lock my gate.
Nice.
It'd be a good start.
Yeah, I like it.
a lot of people always say, "Oh man, if the world ends, I'm coming to your place," because we have a lot of self-sufficient stuff here. So
You're like,
you know,
good
a lot
luck.
of our friends live in the city and in condos and stuff, and they'd be like, "I'm coming over there."
You're like, good luck getting through the gate.
It's not a big deal, but it would at least take them a second to get over it, right?
Yeah, yep. Right on. Greg Ryan, everybody.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, pro board, all-terrain surf. Check him out on bindingless.ca.
Yep, that's the place. And you know, we'd love to get all the opinions of people and see what people like or don't like about it. I mean, everybody's opinion matters, and we want to make the best possible product for everybody. So yeah, look forward to getting some more feet on our boards for sure.
Thanks for joining us on AquaBrain TV. Make sure you subscribe and check this video out. We think you'll like it. Till next time.